Hey everybody, I'm Troy Baker and I'm here to answer your final questions for HBO's The Last of Us. The scene in the season finale between Anna and the birth of Ellie is such a significant one on so many levels. I hate to use the word meta, but it's so true because you do have this handoff from one Ellie to the other, and wonderfully and beautifully and flawlessly played by Ashley Johnson, who played Ellie in the original game. There's so many similarities between Ashley and Bella. It's like the same soul was split and put into two different people. I've known Ashley now for over a decade, and to me, she's just Ash. She's just one of my dearest friends and someone that I care so much about. I forget sometimes how fierce of an actor she is, and I couldn't wait to see what Ashley did with that. I knew she was gonna crush it. Putting her in that situation of, to me, one of the most dense, dramatic moments of the entire season. And I thought I was ready to watch it, and then I did, and I wasn't. She just smashes that scene.
Take her with you to Boston. Find someone to bring her up and make sure that she's safe.
I can't do that.
And I want you to give her this.
There's this totem of the baton being passed from not only one Ellie to the other, but also from a mother to a daughter. And in this world where Anna realizes that her daughter's going to need protection, she's going to need someone or something to help protect her. And the only thing that she has to offer her birthright, is personified in this switchblade. In that moment, it's also a very violent one because she realizes that she has to do it quickly before the worst part of her is passed on to the best part of her.
I cut it before I was bit. Before.
And so that's why every time we've seen that ownership of that knife be threatened to Ellie, she will scramble and she will fight for it because she understands the significance of that knife. Something that I love about The Last of Us is that whether it's the game or the show, it raises more questions than it answers. There's a temptation, I think, to try to answer every question that you can. And other times, it's great to just go, I don't know, why not both? And leave people in the Schrodinger's purgatory of not knowing the actual answer. Why is Ellie immune? How is it that she is the only person in the world that is not affected by this virus? Is she the only one that's not affected by this infection? To me, is one of the compelling things that keeps people in this world, because I still want to know so many things, and I think the beauty is never answering those questions. You have this wonderfully, poetically beautiful, yet incredibly tragic story about these two people who discover love at the wrong time, and what one beautiful night can mean to one individual. And being able to really slow down and examine those moments and either remind players of that story or introduce new people to that story was so foundational to who Ellie is. Because seeing where Ellie goes only is as impactful as it can be if we understand where she came from.
When I got bit in the mall, I wasn't on my own. My best friend was there. And she got bit too. We didn't know what to do, and she says, we can just wait it out. Be all poetic and just lose our minds together. And then she did. And I had to.
That story right there in one episode explained so much about Ellie. And so much of that is predicated upon Ellie saying it's not the first time I've killed someone, and being able to explore that and what that means to her. And the fact that it was to Ellie what Sarah was to Joel. If you played the game, you wrestled with the ending. And now you're gonna have to wrestle with it all over again. If you haven't played the game, welcome to the fight. It's hard to tie a pretty little bow on a story. It is an Olympic feat to do that to a tragic story. And there's gonna be a lot of people that are frustrated, challenged, and wrestle over this ending.
You find something new to fight for. And maybe that's not what you
Swear
want.
to me. Swear to me that everything you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
And I remember asking Neil when we shot the scene, I said, dude, you're gonna piss people off. And he goes, good. Because that means they felt something. If they love it, they hate it, we did our job. If they don't care about it, that's when we failed. As we end season 1 and we now pivot to anticipating what season 2 looks like, I myself as a fan start asking a lot of questions. Who do you cast as Abby? That to me is one of the biggest questions I can't wait to see, because so far Neil and Craig have nailed the casting. Who plays Dina? What characters from the game are brought into this story? What new characters that didn't exist in the game are they going to include? To all of those who have finished season 1 and are now anxiously anticipating season 2, number 1, I would say if you haven't played the game, play the game. But more than anything, it's do what everybody else has been doing for the last 10 years, and that is find someone to talk about it, because that's been my favorite part, are all of the conversations that have happened in the wake of this story. And the community that has been born because of this game is probably the best byproduct. Thank you guys for allowing me to answer all of your questions. I would say that if you haven't listened to the podcast that we're doing with HBO, where I get to sit down and talk with Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, the 2 showrunners, will answer not only the questions that I've answered, but a whole lot more. And it's been one of my favorite conversations, one of my favorite aspects of being involved with HBO's The Last of Us. So please check it out. I would love for you to be a part of that conversation too. No matter what, if you're lost in the darkness, look for the light.